Samuel here, and I'm a pot gardener. This is my third video. Hope you enjoy it. Right then, so my tomato crop is doing quite well. I'm going to go through them one by one, see at what stage they are, what I'm going to be doing next with them, and we'll take it from there. So come follow me. So these are my greenhouses. If I zoom right back, I've got two of them. They are 6x4. There's one and there's my other. They are polycarbonate and they keep the heat in really well. I've had one for over a year and my tomatoes were lovely and I had quite a yield out of them. But then I decided, well, you know, I had a bit of money, so I decided to get greenhouse number 2, so I could double my crops. So if you look here, I've actually got some tomatoes outside because the weather's not too bad now. It's the 25th of May. And you can see there, if I move the chair out of the way, I've got two varieties there. Zoom in a little bit. That one there in that pot, that's a 10-inch. That's a Tigerella, grown really well. That one there is, and I'm going to have a little look at the label. And a bit too close, not focusing. This is Aroma VF. So that's my Aroma. A bit of a bushier plant, the way I grew it last year, and it produces some lovely plum tomatoes. My Tigerella, that's more of a cherry tomato, and well, let's just see they look nice and green and healthy, so the weather can't be that bad for them to be outside. On the other side, I've got in this pot, which is another 10-inch pot, a mystery plant. Can't remember what this one was because I stupidly didn't label it, so now I've forgotten what it was, but I hate to throw it away, so I'm growing it outside whether it likes it or not, and well, to be honest, it's growing alright, so I'm leaving it. It's going to be a surprise. So inside I have absolute loads of plants. I've got the one which I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with yet. That's a striped stuffer, going very well, but it needs potting up now, but I don't really know what to do with it because I've already got one in a big pot, like the ones back there. So I'm not really sure what to do with them. I hate to throw things away, but there's only so much you can grow in such a small space. Because I measured it out the other day and it's about 12 foot by 14 foot area I grow everything in. So it gets a bit crowded. Right, this is another one of mine, which is garden standard moneymaker. You can see it's getting quite tall now. One of my tallest tomatoes. It's always a good grower, this one, and as you can see it's already starting to get flowers on my first truss. It's an exciting time, and generally when it gets to this stage I normally just give it a gentle tap on this way. Don't have to use kit gloves, but a little shit like that helps them to fertilise, and hence you're gonna get your good crop of tomatoes. Let's see. Well, there you go. Oops, there you go. There's a nice flower there. So yes, they're doing really well. Now the way some people stake them, the way I do with my tomatoes, especially the indeterminate ones that grow up like a vine, I use the string method, not a cane. So I just basically tie it to the bottom of the pot, which is there. Then I just wrap it around the stem, the main stem of the tomato, and then it just goes all the way up to another string that I've got set across the top of the greenhouse. So that's how I do all my tomatoes. Just as interesting, that's how I do my cucumbers as well. That's one's tall enough to need training up. And then I've got an orange berry there, which again tied up for some support. So, moneymaker. The one I've got in the corner, which is that one. If I zoom in, that one is my red pear. That again, well, to be honest, I'm not blowing my own trumpet here, but they all look fairly healthy. That's a red pear, little plum tomatoes, which are in the shape of pears. Interesting. This one here, which again is getting to be quite bushy, but you've got to keep on top of them and remove the suckers. But again, zoom in on the right place. There you go. As you can see, if I try, I've lost where I am. There they are. If I zoom in, as you can see, loads of lovely flowers going to come soon. So really looking forward to them. In fact, I think if I look at all of them, I think every single plant I've got has flowers. I don't think I have one tomato plant now that doesn't have a set of flowers on them. Some, like the moneymaker, are in flower, but most of the others at the moment are just still little buds. But another week or so they'll all be in flower, and I'll be starting to get me tomatoes. So that's my first greenhouse. So basically I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tomatoes in this greenhouse. These two here are Martina tomatoes, and again these are healthy. Just to make sure I'm not a liar, there you go, there's a truss starting to form. Very good. As I said, there's 2 Martinas here. These are outdoor, which is why I was growing them. So at the moment they're in the greenhouse, but they're hardening off. I keep the door open every day, so these are hardening off so I can put them outside. Wish I could do any time now. It's just at the moment I'm a bit stuck with space, so at the moment they're staying in the greenhouse. I'll not do them any harm. So I've got 4 tomatoes in this greenhouse, 2 of them to go outside, the other 4 to stay in. I've got 3 outside, so that's 7. And then this greenhouse, as you can see, I'll come in. This one is literally teeming, well, most of it with tomatoes. They're literally all over. Now the ones I'm doing here are, this one is another money maker. I like money makers, a good salad onion. Again, just like the other one, lots of trusses forming and flowers. That's doing well, and it's a plant that thrives very well. What I've been doing is removing, it looks a bit bare, but I've been removing some lower leaves so they're well clear of the soil, so it reduces the chances of any possibility of blight taking a hold and destroying me tomatoes, which I don't want. So I remove the bottom ones so it's well away from the soil and they'll get splashed and what have you. The one in the corner, which just slightly move that aside, that one there is a striped stuffer. That's a normal tomato, but like the name suggests, it's a good tomato to stuff with things like couscous and rice and stuff like that. So having a go with that one. That's a new one this year. This one is a Harbinger tomato plant, and I just found out the other day that this is quite an old variety. I don't know, something stupid like about 100 years old or something. This is a old variety, so I'm trying this out and looking forward to it. Again, right there you can see loads of flowers starting to form in there. Doing well. So that little one, I say little one, that one is, I think I'm sure it was in a video, an earlier one, and that had been totally decimated by slugs or snails or both. However, I persevered with it, I kept it going, and as I say, 3-4 weeks later it's looking quite healthy now and it's recovering. So I'm carrying on with that one. I thought I'd give it a fighting chance to carry on growing since I've had a bad start in life. So that's a San Marzano plum. Moving around. That one, that is my second Harbinger. This one here, quite tall, is an Ildi. That one there, at the back, is a Craigella. Again, I think that's another old variety. Just back to the Ildi, that's a yellow tomato, that's produced like sort of very little grape like sized tomatoes, little cherry grape sized tomatoes. And to go around, that one there is a Roma, another plum. this fella here, apologise for my finger, if I separate these two a little bit, there you go, this fella here in this pot is big bad boy, and yeah, as you can see he's really tall. This one is my Constelluto Florentino, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a beef steak, hence it's a big plant, because you need a big plant to support big tomatoes, which I'm hopefully going to get from this. And this is absolutely covered in tomatoes, or should I say the buds anyway. Trying to zoom in a bit. Oops. Forgive me camera skills. As I say, this is me, Craig. This is not me. Like I said earlier, this is me beefsteak tomato. As you can see, it's just got loads. Well, I say hundreds. It's got quite a lot for this early on. See, even hiding behind. Others you can still see there's loads of flowers starting to turn up. It's a really big, healthy plant, that one, and it's really thriving. And the little fella next to it, well, I say little, there's another Ildi, another yellow one, and as you can see, zoom in on this one, there's one truss, and as you can see, it is, they're just, well, to be honest, I can't count them, the number of buds that are starting to form on that. It's going to be 20 or 30 on there, which I'm quite pleased with. So that's another Ildi. So we've got 7 in the previous, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 15 tomato plants that I'm growing at the moment here, as well as 2 Martinas and another 2 there, and the chances are I've got some others which are still seedlings, such as Sweet Neats. Now they are little cherry ones in the bush type, so I might stick them in a pot and just leave them unsupported on the patio. But yes, all looking healthy, oh, so far. No sign of any problems. Weather a bit variable today, but there you go. Feed wise, with these, they're just in anywhere between 10 and 12 inch pots, and I just basically fill them with general purpose compost with some chicken manure pellets and a bit of volcanic dust that I won in a competition from Grow Your Own, so I was quite chuffed with that, and some tomato slow release pellets scattered about the soil. So that's all mixed up, and then transplant the tomato into their final place where they'll be until I have no further use of them. As you can see, I also have a watering system, as you can see there. Each one of the big pots has one of these outlets, water outlets. Zoom back, there you go, there's that one. So they all have one, as well as things like the peppers. They're all plumbed in. The only ones I don't are the ones I'm going to be putting outside, like that one and that one. But I might, I will be setting up a further irrigation system to water them automatically as well, but I haven't set that up yet. It's still a bit too early. So fed, watered on a timer every morning, just in case I forget before I go to work, so they'll never go thirsty. I only water them sparingly at the moment. They're not that big, so they don't go through that much water, but they'll soon grow, and that will mean more frequent watering, but it's on a timer, so I just tell it to water a bit more often, and Bob's your uncle. There you go, all set up. All come, most of them are vine or indeterminate, which means they just grow on one long stem. But even so, they still come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Some are tall and thin, some are wide and narrow, some very little at the bottom and a lot of growth at the top. So I just appreciate whatever shape they come in. So I'm doing quite a few varieties this year, I like a variety. Cherries I just eat when I'm pottering about in the garden. The salad, well, they're going salad ones. The beefsteak, I like them in sandwiches. And the plum ones I blend and use them in homemade spaghetti bolognese, which is absolutely gorgeous when it's homemade. Much better than the supermarkets, believe you me. So that's the tomatoes. Just as a little update for the rest of the garden and the rest of the veg, just to keep you up to date. There are my parsnips, and they are doing really well. Almost, some are starting to get their true leaves coming through, so doing quite well. That one's starting to get a few there, but they're coming along. And my hollow crown doing very nicely. These are my Ailsa Craig onions, which are from seed, and they're coming along, thickening up quite nicely. These fellas here, these are my leeks. I don't think I've planted these right. I think you're supposed to put them in a hole and leave the hole, but I've formed around the bottom, but they are growing. They do look healthy, as you can see. These green stems all seem to be doing okay, so I'll leave it as it is. So there are my leeks. These here is 3 plants, and these are my swede, and hard to really tell. Try and get a better angle. There you go. Getting the true leaf. That's a true leaf there. Get the thing in focus. There you go.
doing quite well. There you go, there's 3 swede there, and I've got another tub with 3 swede in there. 6 altogether. I'll see how they come on. If they grow well, then I'll grow more next year. But these are a little bit of a trial. Again, I just grow them in, I think that's a 10-inch pot, which is general purpose compost, chicken manure pellets and volcanic rock. And they seem to be doing alright. Don't seem to be sulking or in a mood, so must be doing something right. So here we have some carrots, again growing well, as you can see there. Start to grow a bit. If I can do this one-handed and zoom in a little bit. Sorry about this. I'll get the focus right. There you go. That. There's this one. If I just gently move the soil, don't know if you can see it, and there you go. That's the top of a carrot. It's not huge yet, but at least I know they're grown. I'll just cover the little fella back up again. So yes, they are growing, and just to show you, that is a 10-inch pot, 10 or 11, might be 11, and it's basically only about 8 inches deep, and I think these are growing alright. These are only small carrots, so I knew I wasn't planting them that deep, but they're doing okay. These fellas here are becoming huge. There's 3 of them, 1, 2 and 3. These are my Brussels sprouts. And again, there's my pot and my container. This is a vegetable plastic one, and again it's only about 10-12 inches deep, but as you can see, it's growing very well, absolutely healthy. I've been lucky. There's only the slightest little marks on the leaves, but generally they're looking really healthy and green, so I'll not do much more to them. I'll just leave them. Seem to be doing well. Let's see, look at the stem, doing really well. And if the Brussels sprouts should be growing in there, where the stem and the leaf, where them two join in there, that is where, let's see if I can zoom in, you got the leaf, you got the stem, and in there is where the Brussels sprout grows. As the sprout in between each of these leaves here, as it grows up, in between there'll be a Brussels sprout. So there you go. So that's my Brussels. Got some little gem lettuce growing in another pot. Onions. These are just spare ones. I'm not quite sure what they were, but I didn't want to throw them away, so stick them in a pot. As you can see, that's my motto. Stick them in a pot, you can put them anywhere. That's garlic, growing really well. I don't know, this is starting to yellow off, so I don't know if this is finally at the end, but that one looks quite healthy, so we'll see. In here I've got onions. Alright, so these are my onions from seed. Some more. Doing really well, thickening up really nicely, catching up to the others. These ones are my Bedfordshire onion seeds, coming along really nicely. Some more garlic, really growing, and that mass over there, they're my other onions, Stuttgart Horizon, Electric and Troy, all in there, all doing really well. No more seem to be bolting from the reds. None of my whites have, but some of my reds have. But let's see, must be getting close to having to harvest some of these, because as you can see there, some of my onions are fattening up really nicely. Hard to gauge the scale on this. That's a finger. So it's about a finger's width. Hard to tell the scale. Get close. About finger's width. But they're all doing very nicely. And the whites seem a little bit behind the reds, but all coming along nicely, so I think I should have a good harvest this year. So around here, use anything I can find, and this tub container, that's my lettuce, growing very nicely. Behind here I have a courgette plant which is growing very nicely, seems to be anyway. That's a Black Beauty they're called. I've actually got two in there, so that's doing nicely. Let's see, strawberries in here, as you can see. Absolutely loads coming now. That one's ready to be picked, and again loads in there starting to redden. And I'm actually propagating some from the runners, and I saw this in a video where you have a runner this one here comes off the main plant, grows what would be along the ground, and then this bit here, it's like a bud, so that keeps in contact with the ground, it will form roots and then produce another fat plant. Keep it down with a bit of, well, I use a kebab stick snapped and used as a little U-shaped pin to pin it down, and that keeps it in contact with the soil. That'll create it, make it produce roots, and in that little pot there I'll hopefully get another strawberry plant. And then once it does look as though it's rooted, you just cut the stem and then it becomes its very own plant. So that's how you propagate strawberries. I did it last year and it does work. It does very nicely. So there you go. So yes, cucumbers. Cucumber. This one's a bit yellow. I need to give it some Epsom salts. it is getting a bit more greener at the top, so I think it is recovering. So, but I think it still needs another dose to get it back. But it is still producing cucumbers, and nice ones, I think, by the looks of it. As I was saying earlier, chilli plants doing well. This is my rhubarb. As you can see, leaves are becoming massive. Here's a new one on its way. If you get underneath, down there, there's another one on its way. These are starting to produce some sticks, so I might get a little bit of rhubarb. See how it goes. These here. These are me tending true parsnips. Absolutely romping away. Doing really well there. And in here, under the netting, I've got, yeah, you guessed it, more strawberry plants. Got a container there, which is got them all over. Strawberry plant there. I've got another one there, another one there, and yep, another one there. Absolutely covered in flowers, so hopefully I'm going to get a very nice crop of strawberries here very quickly because it's starting to rain. I've got me peas, and if I zoom in there, you can see the pod is starting to form. Just waiting for the peas to mature inside it. But yeah, starting to get the peas there now, all around the edge. Few flowering plants, few lettuce that I've potted up that need potting on further. Lettuce, cuffs and iceberg there, doing very well. And finally another container pot with carrots, yummy purple here's. Last of me radish, and some fresh radish and some fresh carrots, which are me chutney, little stumpy ones, coming on very nicely. And here I'll just have me chioggia, I think you pronounce it, beetroot, nearly ready to be transplanted into bigger pots. I've got swede seedlings in case I decide to plant more, and little gem lettuce to pot up when I can get the time. And there's some Detroit 2 beetroot, getting quite big, ready to be transplanted when I can. And finally, in here I have some really good looking beetroot, which I've just put in a planter with some flowers because I think the leaves themselves look quite nice with the red veins. Just makes it stand out more, makes it more attractive. So that's grown away, and I did have a little rummage about at the base, and I don't know if you can see that. I'll zoom in. There you go. That at the base there, this thing here, is the beginning of the beetroot. So quite pleased about that. Cover it back up. Keep it covered. Don't want anything to happen now. So yeah, beetroot's coming along nicely. So that's all my veg. This is a little sideshow, as you can see. Starting to get, all my flowers are starting to come through now. Really looking forward to them. Sorry, foxglove, lupins, clematis, California poppies, irises, aquiliguas, all growing well. And that's it. So it's time for me to pack up. The rain's pouring down now, so see you all later. All the best now. Bye. Right,
Just a little update because the rain cut short the end of the last little segment. Want to have a quick look at the garden. There's my Aquilagrias, the wife's favourites, looking very nice. Very pretty flower, different colours, shapes. There are lilies, lovely orange, beautiful flowers on them. So a few hanging baskets with various plants in, nasturtiums, trailing nasturtiums and trailing lobelia. As I say, there's the lupins, the foxgloves, I think they are, coming into flower nicely. Oh, I forgot all about these. These are my raspberry plants, which I've had for a number of years, and I think only this year I've figured out what type they are. Basically what I used to do was cut them right back every year and let them grow, and I found I didn't really get that many fruit on them. But after reading in some magazines, it says, oh, it could be the type that you grow 1 year, don't cut them back, leave them, then the growth appears and the flowers on the old stems, and while they're maturing, new stems for next year grow. And then once you've picked your raspberries, you cut the old canes down and leave the newer ones for next year, and that's where the new fruit and flower leaves grow. And next year new shoots, new stems I should say, grow. And you keep doing that year after year. So I did that. So if I go in, say for example this stem here, this was here last year, as you can see, off the stem has grown this bit, and on this bit you have all the fruit, or the flowers as they are at the moment. And again, don't know if I can get in, there you go. So there's the stem at the back there, and I'm pointing, and this is a short stem, and off this comes all fruit. And that one is developing. And if you look around, zoom back out, there's absolutely loads which are flowering, are still in the budding stage, but certainly on this plant, and as you can see, there's absolutely cluster upon cluster of raspberries all over this plant. It's unbelievable. So I think I've got this sussed, this plant, which I didn't plant myself. When I moved into this house, this plant was here, and I just harvested them and cut them back stupidly. But this year, after a bit of investigating, as you can see, that one has got a few fruits starting to form. If you look everywhere, certainly on this plant, there's loads of them that are fruiting. So they'll develop, turn red, and hopefully I'll get an absolute bumper crop of raspberries. As you can see, there's just absolutely hundreds of clusters all over the plant, and near the ones you can see, there's absolutely loads that you can't see as you go along, that they're under the leaves, but as you can see, it's just absolutely thriving. And just to prove my point about the old stem and the new stem, this one here that I have is a new stem,
As you can see, has a few leaves but no fruit. So this I will keep for next year, and all the stems that all these fruit are grown on, they'll be cut off right down to the base of the plant. So that's how you do. There is a name, I think it's autumn fruiting raspberries or summer fruiting raspberries, but yes, you have to do them this way. The other type that it could have been was, as I said, the ones you cut right back every year and just let them grow fresh, and they produce the leaves and the fruit in the same year. But this one certainly isn't, and it's absolutely thriving, so I'm really happy with it. I've finally sussed out what it was. Okay, and as I say, everything is starting to come into flower. So as well as my veg, I do enjoy growing my flowers as well. All my pots are full of developing flowers or bulbs I should say. There's some bluebells that are last sort of probably seeing the last farewells soon. But as well as my veg, I do like my flowers in pots as well. Which is why I came up with a Samuel the pot grower. As you can see, yeah, all my backup plants, seedlings and greenhouses. So that is definitely it. I hope you enjoyed this brief update. I say brief, getting quite long now, but next one on the next few videos will probably be a little bit shorter because they'll just be updates. But if you've got any questions or you'd like to give me some advice, by all means do so. If you have any questions, then please leave a comment. I will try and answer them. Please subscribe, and I'll see you around for the next video. So this is Samuel, Pot Gardener, signing off. Bye.